Yeah. Welcome back. Week 9 picks against the spread. So before we get into it, we'll go over how we did last week and our running totals for the year. So Tom and Luke continue their hot streak.
Yep.
Yeah, it is wild that we picked a lot of opposite games.
And split them right down the middle.
Yeah.
So last week we didn't have any teams on bye, so there were 16 games. No pushes last week. So Tom and Luke were 9 for 16 on picks, bringing their total to 66 out of 120 for the year. Luke was the only one who had his lock hit last week, which was on the Steelers.
Mike Tomlin certified locks.
Yeah. The Steelers are looking good. I was 7 for 16, bringing my total to 59 out of 120. And Wargo, Coach Wargs, was 6 for 16, continuing to falter a little bit. He's 55 for 120 on the year. So
he's injured.
Get your fades here. Get your fades here.
Yeah.
Check out Coach Wargs for the fade job. High low cut. You know,
I mean, I'm only four points ahead of him at this point, so I'm falling behind a little bit myself. 7 points behind Luke and Tom, and Morgo is 11 points behind Luke and Tom right now, who are both well above the 50% mark. So that's kind of
we're pulling ahead a little bit here.
Yeah. I'm starting to really feel like I'm seeing the board really, really clearly lately.
Yeah. I might go a little bit crazy this week.
Yeah, I don't feel like I am. So I'm hoping this week we have a resurgence. I think I've got some good takes on these ones this week. So we'll see. We do have 2 teams on bye. That is going to be. I'm not sure who that's going to be, frankly. Doesn't matter. We'll just jump into the picks here. 15 games.
I got 2 weather picks that I'm basing my games off the weather. So
yeah, and Ryan Hall y'all is live right now with some severe weather in
we are out of
eastern Kansas, northern Missouri, northern Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So be safe out there.
San Fran and Pitt are on buys this week. So Tomlin lock of the week is I'm gonna have to figure something out here.
Yeah. All right, so first game tomorrow night. Interesting spread here. Maybe not so much with the news of Stephon Diggs and Nico Collins still on or out with injuries. Houston at New York Jets -1.5.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been going. Well, I guess I went Jets 2 weeks ago. They let me down. I picked against the Jets last week, and you guys were all on.
Yeah.
Yes, you guys were all on the Jets.
Yeah, and that paid off for you. So
I feel like I still got to go Texans here. I know they're banged up, but they still got Mixon in. They still have Tank Dell. They still have C.J. Stroud. That defensive line is really good, it seems. I think that they're good enough to win this game. So,
Texans for Tom.
Where's it at?
It's in New York. So Aaron Rodgers is 40 years old. This Jets team is, I want to say, 2-6 right now.
Yep. They have to win.
Also 2-6 against the spread.
Also 2-6 against the spread. Thank you.
They have to win every game.
So, I mean, they have to win every game, but you also got to think. I mean, at what point does Rodgers just say, "I'm 40"? Like,
he might retire.
I'm taking the rest of the year off.
I'm 40. I'm a man.
He's got 3 or 4 different injuries. You know, could happen.
I just think that with the addition of Devontae Adams, with Hassan Reddick coming back last week, and the high expectations for this Jets team, they're going to have to start winning some games. Houston's a little bit banged up. So I think the Jets are gonna be able to pull this one off. I'm gonna go with them, and I think maybe this is kind of where they begin their run, because after this Houston game, it gets pretty easy for them. Not easy, but the schedule isn't as difficult. So I expect this to be a kind of a springboard for them into the end of the year, where they can hopefully make a push for a wild card spot. I don't think a division winner is in the cards for them, but I think if they play well enough, they still could make a playoff run. So give me the Jets.
Wargo also on the Jets, by the way, for those looking to catch a fade, catch these feet. I would love to see Rodgers lose every single game the rest of the year, and in horrific fashion, mind you. There would be few things that would bring me more joy than that. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I think they're gonna get a couple dubs, and I think I've picked the Jets 3 out of the last 4 weeks. The 1 week I didn't pick them was when they were playing Buffalo, and I feel like I am like telepathic with Buffalo right now. I just like completely simpatico. Like I can't pick a Buffalo pick wrong. I don't know if facts would back that up, but it just feels like the case. The Jets have, with that being said, 3 out of the last 4 weeks have screwed me. But as Jesse pointed out, Texans are dinged up at position players with the wide receivers out. Diggs out for the season. Collins is not quite ready to come back yet. I think should be back sometime in the next couple of weeks, but it's not going to be this week. Next week. And it just feels like the Jets, there's a lot of talent on that roster. Like especially now that they've brought in Devontae. I think this week Reddick is going to be playing.
He played last week.
He did. Okay. I didn't
Pretty
watch
sure.
that game.
I know he was practicing. I don't know if he played.
Regardless, they've got a good roster. They've got some talent. Obviously, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Quincy Williams, Sauce Gardner in the secondary, DJ Reed.
They're all healthy. Like I don't understand why they're not.
It feels like the Jets I don't want to say they're going to go on a run, so to speak, but I'm going to go ahead and take them this week and just probably flush this down the drain. But give me the Jets.
All right, first picks are in of the week for tomorrow night. Remember, all these lines that we're choosing are as of Wednesday evening, produced by DraftKings Sportsbook, unofficial sponsor of Chi-Town Lowdown. We're working on that, inking that deal, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
You may see some of those featured parlays, like Jesse, Jesse's hot picks for whatever. Anyways, Denver at Baltimore -9 is the next game.
This feels too big for me. Denver's been playing some good ball lately. Again, Sean Payton, little shithead, little dickhead. He's not just going to roll over.
Oh, Knicks.
It's like
just like his son,
dude. I was going to say that.
How dare you talk to me or my son like that? Denver 6-2 against the spread, 5-3 overall. Baltimore 4-3 against the spread. Obviously, just tough division loss last week. Credit to me for calling that one out. Jameis factor. I mean, what are you going to do? I'm going to go Denver here. It feels like this is just a few too many points. I could see Baltimore bouncing back, getting in the win column after a loss to the Browns, but I'm going to take Denver to cover.
Jesse?
Oh, yeah. It is a lot of points. But
War goes on Baltimore, by the way.
Yeah. So maybe I should take Denver. Tom, you go. Let me get my thoughts together real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I think Denver's a good team. Like Luke was saying in our other video, check that out, everybody. Like, we're kind of seeing the teams now. We're halfway through, and like people are sleeping on Denver. I think a little bit because of the rookie quarterback, and like how they started. Maybe I don't know what it is, but they're not bad. 5-3, and they've been in a lot of games. So for the Ravens to lose to the Browns, I mean,
Jameis.
yeah, but like the sun in the receiver's eyes, and then like Jameis could have easily had 3 interceptions that game. I did watch some of that.
That's
He's
Jameis.
so good. I love him. I love his spirit. I love how he plays. But yeah, I think 9 is too much for this game.
Tom's on Denver.
Even though I hate Bo Nix, I don't know. I want to punch his face, and I know he beat the crap out of me because he's Bo Nix. But
I hear what you guys are saying. Denver's showing us that they are a good football team. Baltimore has shown us that when they are playing at a level that they are capable of, that they could be a Super Bowl contender, right? I don't think Denver's at that level.
They kind of play bad against bad teams.
They've lost to the Raiders. They lost to the Browns last week, but kind of as Luke alluded to, it might be a different Browns team moving forward with the change of quarterback. So I wouldn't say that one was as bad as the game against the Raiders, but I expect coming off of that loss that they're a little fired up, and they want to reposition themselves as that Super Bowl contender team, when some people may be thinking otherwise after that loss last week. So I will take Baltimore here.
I still think they'll win the game, for the record. I just don't.
9's a lot. So Baltimore by 10 or more. I think they can do it.
Keep in mind, we are approaching Derrick Henry season, and I think the Ravens, to go against my pick here, the Ravens are starting to figure out how to use this guy. Like, it's like a new toy that you're not quite sure which buttons to press at first, right? Like, I'm just figuring this thing out, right? Let me give you some advice. Fourth quarter, feed that man. He just is a beast, continues to be. So down the stretch here, I'm probably going to be very heavy on the Ravens, but this line just feels a little too big for me.
Yeah, to piggyback off that a little bit, 2 weeks ago when they played Tampa Bay, that game was close in the first half, and then Belichick was on with the Mannings, and he was like, Henry's not even out there playing. Wait until the second half. Wait until the fourth quarter. He's going to be fresh and he's going to eat. And he did. He was right. Belichick, he knows a thing or two about football. So Miami at Buffalo -6 here. Divisional matchup. Tua's back, coming off a tough loss against Arizona at home. Buffalo coming off a convincing victory in Seattle.
This is a tough one. 6 is kind of more than I expected, to be honest. I know Miami isn't quite back, and they lost last week, but I still think they're good, and they just looked more like themselves last week. But at home, I think I got to take Bills Mafia here. Yeah. Josh Allen's playing great.
Yeah.
One interception all year.
Is that facts? One interception?
Could be. I think his first one was last week.
Could be. It could be.
Fact check me, but I'm pretty sure.
You'll never know, but it could be.
Let me look.
I think this Miami defense against in coverage and against quarterbacks isn't bad. Divisional matchup.
They did not look good last week.
Another team that had higher expectations going into the season than where they currently sit. Granted, Tua was out for 4 weeks, 4.5 basically with the injury. So I think that this game's going to be competitive to the end, and for that reason, I'm going to go with Miami here.
14 touchdowns, 1 interceptions on the year.
Wargo is also on Miami. I just went on a Buffalo spiel there a few minutes ago. If you're still with us, if you could manage to make it to the 15-minute mark, you were here early enough to know that I just said that I seem to have some sort of cosmic connection going on with this Buffalo team. With that being said,
don't pick the Bills.
I like the Dolphins to keep it close this week.
Okay, all
right. Like the Bills to win, but I did like what I saw out of the Miami offense last week. They naturally had to have shaken off some rust in that game, and they still looked pretty good. Had an opportunity to win it. Arizona hung with them the whole time, and were there at the end. They were the last team to have the ball, walked it off just like they did the week before against the Chargers.
Yeah.
But I think with another week of practice with Tua back, getting reps with the ones, with Waddle, with Tyreek, and then that backfield seems like they are going to be able to open some things up. Achane seemed to be hitting some chunk runs last week. And Mostert gives them more of a goal line presence, I think, with the ability to break some as well. So give me Miami to keep it close. Take them +6.
I feel like I'm doing something this week where I'm talking up the team and then I pick against them, and that could bite me in the ass here. I don't know.
Well, we're only 3 games in, so let's see. Let's see where you go from here. Las Vegas at Cincinnati -7. Wargo's the lock of the week on Cincinnati, so all signs are pointing to a large Las Vegas victory.
Yeah,
I know. I think I said this last week. And when are we going to realize that maybe Cincinnati's not good? Maybe Joe Burrow's not enough.
Cincinnati without T. Higgins is not good. It's amazing how much of an impact not having T. Higgins is having on this football team, frankly. I mean, they don't have him week 1. They lose to New England. They don't have him last week. And
do they have him this week?
Well, the game last week was a blowout against Philly, who is playing much, much better. We'll get to them a little bit later on. Do they have him this week? That's a good question.
I think I'm going to go with them, if so.
He is questionable. Didn't practice today.
What's he got?
He really just wants to get traded. Like he's just
quadricep.
Yeah.
He's just some sort of soft tissue, with him. And I feel like he's just sick of the franchise tag bullshit. I'm the second fiddle here to Jamar Chase, which, that's just going to be the case. Chase is a legitimate number 1, and you're not going to – there's very few people in this league that would supplant him from that position on that team. I may be making more out of this. He may actually have a legitimate injury. I don't want to say that he doesn't, but I think that what Vegas do last week? Put up
they covered against Kansas City. They lost
KC, right?
by 7, but the spread was 10, I think.
I think that that's a blow your load game if you're the Raiders. And as Jesse had mentioned, there were I think Philly's won 5 in a row, and I know from my fantasy team that I think Jalen had like 2 just like 1-inch touchdowns in that game. That's 3. So kind of pads that spread that we had seen in that game. I think Cincy kind of comes back here, rights the ship.
What's the line?
I'll go with Wargo. Yeah. And you said this is Wargo's lock.
Yep.
Makes me very nervous. But
I am very nervous right now.
You make the Lord very nervous.
How is it 7 points? That doesn't make any sense to me. I didn't hear that. Oh, Lord.
Tom, you're
Did
on
you
the
pick
Raiders.
Cincy? You don't like 7 for Cincy here?
Not
I don't think
really.
Cincinnati's won a game at home yet this year. It's another thing.
Who's going to guard Chase for them?
Don't know.
I don't like it, but I'm going to pick Bengals. It's a gut feeling here, which I don't like. But my gut's telling me to pick the Bengals.
Raiders did you well last week, Jess.
I know. My gut's telling me to pick the Raiders, to be honest.
Nope. I think they'll be in it until the fourth quarter.
All right, I'll do it. I'll take Vegas here.
Last time, remember I got bullied into freaking picking Jaguars last week, and they screwed me. They won, or they almost covered, but
Minshew didn't play bad last week, and they hung around. They hung around with the Chiefs. It was a divisional game. That's kind of what we expected, but they just got rid of Devontae Adams. They kind of got some negativity out of the locker room. Max Crosby's going to be getting after Joe Burrow. So.
Jesse trying to talk himself into this thing.
Las Vegas, baby. Let's go. Vegas. Washington at New York Giants plus 3.5.
I love the Giants at this spot. Love it. I really thought that they were going to win that game on Monday night, right?
Yeah.
Despite Tom, I'm fully aligned with Tomlin. Whatever he says the rest of the year, I'm on board. I don't care what it is. But they were hanging with them in that game, and if Neighbors is playing, that offense is different. This Tyrone Tracy kid, he seems like he's got a little bit of juice.
He's out, though. Most likely.
Concussed.
Oh, yeah. Concussions are like 2-week minimum now. Singletary.
And on a short week.
Singletary started the year as the starter. If Neighbors is still playing, Darius Slayton he's been serviceable. And then I like their D line. I think they're missing Thibodeau currently, but Lawrence. There was one play where it was like an important third down. Lawrence swam move at a speed that no person that size should be able to move, and then they had Jalen Warren, who bounced off of him like a small child would bounce off of. It was incredible. Like he wasn't even there. I do like that D line. Similar to what I had said about Las Vegas against the Chiefs last week, a blow your load game. It feels like that could have been that way for Washington too. They may be feeling a little bit hungover from that Bears game. That was a huge win, and in a way that's just like incredible. Coming back and playing a Giants team that is scrappy, I'm gonna go Giants to cover.
What are the Giants' record? 2-6.
Yep. I'm going with the Giants as well for a lot of the same reasons that Luke had mentioned. Divisional matchup as well here. So, these teams see each other a lot. Obviously, this is a new look Washington Commanders team, but divisional matchups, they're always a little wonky, right? Not always go the way that you expect them to go. And I expect the Giants to get up for this one at home. And Washington coming off that emotional win against the Bears, maybe come out a little lower energy than usual. Maybe not though.
Wargo is on Washington. That bodes well for us.
I know there's a stat going around. Danny Dimes is like 1 for 16 in primetime games.
Yeah, it was 0 for 7 in Monday Night Football.
Just
threw that up the other night.
Good thing this one's at noon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand how he. I mean, I do. They paid him a shit ton of money, but how he has played so many games in the NFL. I don't think he's a very good player, but in just the way he looks at, it's I don't know. I don't like it.
You guys kind of look alike, frankly. To be honest.
Yeah, I thought that once, but then I
not as much as you look like RG3, but
okay. I am gonna pick.
Now that is true. It's a true statement.
3
Doppelganger.
3.5 is a little too tight. Like I know it's a divisional game, and I think they will be close, but I'm thinking like a 6-pointer.
Giants win by 6.
No, I think Washington's going to win this game. I think it's a short week for Giants. They're not going to be ready for Jane Daniels. He's going to be healthy. I don't know if he's questionable, but I feel like he's going to be ready to go. But I recant if he doesn't play. I take this pick away, and I put the Giants in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Tom just gets like breakfast balls for picks now. It's just like if they lose, I'm switching to the other team.
Just putting Asterisk over there, all right?
All right, moving on. Chargers at Cleveland plus 1.5. Home underdogs for the Browns.
These teams seem pretty similar, in my opinion.
I'm riding this whatever's going on in Cleveland. It is Believeland now with Jameis. He's saying all the right things. He's just
praise be.
Yeah,
to the Lord.
Yeah,
I heard. Sorry, go ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just gonna say his post game after that was.
He's got so many quotable.
Go look it up if you haven't seen it.
Unwavering belief, faith in the Lord.
He quoted Eminem. Or he you only get one shot. The white man once said in Detroit or whatever he said. Did you see that?
I missed that.
He just quoted Eminem. You got one shot, dude, and he.
Do not miss your chance to blow.
Yeah, and he just has so many quotable moments. Love him. I don't know why. What was I going to say? Oh, there's rumbling. This could be fake news. I'm not sure. I mean, last time I got the Josh Allen thing right. So I heard they don't like him in Cleveland. The locker room does not like James, which is hard to believe. But I don't know. I'll check. I'll fact check that. But
that would be disappointing.
You know what? Here's the thing.
A little too much.
So here's the thing: is when I could definitely believe that because he's the guy when you're like, you're on your phone before the game and you're trying to find the right song to get in the right headspace, and James is pulling your headphones off and he's saying, unwavering belief, and he just won't say anything else. So you're like, what are you talking about?
And ready?
Unwavering belief, and you're just like, what are you saying something? And he's just like, won't stop doing it. That's probably annoying. But then when you get out on the field, and he's balling and he's throwing passes right at the defender, but the Lord is shining a ray of light right in their eye at that precise moment because it's of the unwavering belief. That's when you're like, okay, I can deal with it. Like, I'll put up with it. But I'm picking the Browns until I see something that's just like I can't not pick them. But this does not scare me enough. Wargo's also on the Browns, by the way.
I'm picking a lot against you guys. I'm getting a little bit nervous. I think Chargers.
It doesn't matter. You and I are going to have the same exact after this week.
Chargers
for 4 weeks straight somehow. I don't understand.
Chargers had a pretty good game against the Saints, which not saying much. I think some of these mistakes that James is going to make is going to bite him in the butt this week, and I think this Chargers D is going to get an interception or a fumble recovery. Something's going to happen that changes the game. Jim Harbaugh takes advantage and they get the dub. So,
All right. Dallas at Atlanta -3 points.
that's an easy one.
Yeah, I'm taking Atlanta.
Yeah.
Dallas, they suck.
CeeDee Lamb balled out.
is good. CeeDee Lamb is good,
Yeah.
but Dallas is not good as a team.
I mean, Jerry Jones is just – I didn't know he is the owner and the GM.
And
I didn't know that.
an idiot.
And an idiot. And, like, it's just
Can't forget that last one.
really
Yeah.
wild.
I'm
So
taking ATL, piece up, A-town down.
Yeah, I like how they're running the ball. I like the
They're
receivers.
starting to use Bijan like he's meant to be used.
Yes.
A
So
weapon.
I think they'll cover this and win handedly.
I knee jerk. I want to go Atlanta with you guys. And then when I start to think about it, I realize that is the right thought, and I'm gonna stick with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
War goes on
War goes
Dallas.
Morgan love Dallas.
So I'm gonna go Atlanta. You've got a Lamborghini in Bijan. Let the big dog eat.
Don't keep it in the garage.
Do not keep it in the garage.
Get it out on the interstate. See how
Get going
fast
about
that baby can
$120. Endanger, families that are just
He can run.
trying to make it home from work, soccer
Go
practice,
full
run
Rashi
them off
Rice
the road.
on that bad boy.
Oof.
Sorry.
Oof.
New England at Tennessee -3.5.
Man, this is a stink fest, isn't it?
Tennessee favored here in a game. Not sure this has happened.
I need to
This
see
is
year.
shocking to me.
if Drake May's playing. I mean,
Tennessee 1-6 against the spread.
If you think about teams like genres of movies, right? Like you think about like Kansas City, right? Like they're like a serious drama that's got Oscar buzz. You think about I'm looking at teams. Think about like Baltimore. That's like your summer action blockbuster, right? Tennessee is like a Kevin Hart movie. It's dog shit. And it's supposed to be funny, but it ain't, right? You know what I'm talking about? Kevin Hart fans out there? It's pretty much everybody on the planet. So I've cursed this podcast from being successful at all. But it is funny in a way because I'm laughing my ass off when I watch them play. They're just doing shit. Like their quarterbacks are just like, what's the worst possible thing I can do right now? And then they do it on a regular basis. And it doesn't even matter who's playing.
Calvin Ridley had like 138 receiving yards or
They
something last
lost
week.
52-14.
Yeah, but they did play the Lions, and they were competitive in that game for like a quarter and a half, which was surprising.
Yeah, the first quarter, it was close.
sorry, I was reading about this game here.
I'm going New England here. I like them to cover against Tennessee. I think this would be a scrappy game, close game, maybe New England.
Yeah, just 3.5. Like they're favored 3.5. Brissett's going to be back, right?
I think Drake May might play. He's in the third round of protocol.
Okay.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the hit that he got pulled on. It didn't look as bad as your, Tua or Tyrone Tracy type plays. Like Tua on the very extreme end. Tyrone Tracy last week wasn't that bad. But you could tell he was out for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, Drake May, he got up, and I think it might have been one of those where they saw something on the independent, consultant was like, hey, pull this guy, take a look
He was
at
just
it.
acting goofy. They
Yeah,
know.
but he looks like that guy.
That's what Tracy was doing too. Tracy was like,
Yeah.
he's like an aw shucks kind of like, and they're like, do you even know where you are or like who you are? Those little ones where your neck, you get the little recoil and it just lights out there for a second. And generally they come back too pretty quickly. They turn the lights back on, but you're kind of like, what's going on?
Emotions are a little out of whack.
Exactly.
Start
We've
crying.
we've all been there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with New England here.
It looks like Tony Pollard, Calvin Ridley, Tyler Boyd all would not participate in practice today.
Wow.
Calvin Ridley goes from questionable to healthy. Like he's incredible.
Okay.
I guarantee you he will play.
I had to check DraftKings to make sure I didn't put this in wrong, but yeah, it is Tennessee minus 3.5.
Also, Will Levis is playing. I don't know did he play last?
Will Levis
No,
is playing.
Rudolph played against the.
I want to say I can't really find a definite
started.
answer, but I think Will Levis is starting, and that's just enough for me to pick the Patriots. And
Everybody's on the Patriots.
Yeah.
Okay. New Orleans at Carolina plus 7.5.
Oh my gosh, another just
home.
Parr's got to be back with this line, right?
Yeah, got to be.
I'm gonna go New Orleans.
Yeah, expected to start.
Okay.
And
yeah, I'm gonna go New Orleans as well. I just I think I said this before. Just you got to pick against the bad teams, and in this instance, I guess these are probably the two games this game and the last game, probably the top or the bottom four in the NFL. So these are tough, honestly. I mean, but I'm still gonna pick against the Carolina Panthers. I think. Oh wait.
Yeah, I mean the Panthers have lost each of their last 5 games by 10 or more points.
Bad. What's Wargo on?
He's on Carolina.
I was thinking about switching over to Carolina, and now I'm like,
This is works.
Couple things to look out for Carolina here this week. They obviously got rid of Deontay Johnson, but Adam Thielen is coming back off the IR. Also, Jonathan Brooks, rookie running back,
was on Jesse's bench the whole year.
Was a full participant. In practice Wednesday. Chuba Hubbard has obviously been playing well, but we don't know. Jonathan Brooks was also the first running back off of the board in this year's draft. So there's an expectation that he may be, a dynamic type back for the Panthers. Now, they're a bad team still, right? But
J.C. Horn tried to fight Sean Payton after the game last week. Side note.
Who did? Oh, J.C. Horn, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go with Carolina.
Okay.
Trying to pull me over here. Tom?
No.
No, you're on New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, God. Is Bryce starting?
Oh, yeah.
Is he back in the driver's seat?
He did a good first drive apparently last week.
Like if they can keep the Broncos to that game to 14 points, something tells me they can keep this game to a touchdown. Dave Canales, I'm going Carolina, home dog.
Yeah. Yeah, Bryce Young is starting that game. All right. Moving on, Jacksonville at Philadelphia, -7.5.
Philadelphia is rolling.
Yeah, but Jacksonville got you a point last week. So are you sure you want to neglect them like that?
Yeah, no, you didn't let me talk here, but they're rolling. But Jacksonville is showing life. They play the Packers tough, and I think ETN's back this week. They did just lose their best receiver though.
Is he out for sure?
Kirk, he's out for the year.
Oh well.
I think Brian Thomas is out too.
Yes,
Brian Thomas is their best receiver.
Sorry, but Kirk is he used to be. I'm a little dated there, but yeah, I don't like that he's out. But how much was he actually contributing?
Thomas?
No, Kirk. Thomas was hurt too, though. He had a chest injury.
Thomas was limited today.
Okay. I'm gonna go Philly then. I think Philly's pretty healthy. The way Saquon's running the ball, Jalen Hurts is playing well. Their defense is figuring it out. There's too many positives going for Philly here.
Yeah.
Philly.
Philly has pulled off a very successful 180 because after the first couple weeks of the year, we were talking about them like they need to fire Sirianni. Can't get these coordinators right. I do think the game last week in Cincinnati was a little bit closer than the score said. 7.5 points. It's quite a bit. Yep. I'm gonna go with Jacksonville here.
Doug Peterson won a championship there.
Revenge game.
Ooh. Revenge game. Trevor Lawrence. What can I say? I literally can't think of anything to say.
Centaur man.
Nice hair.
Centaur man. Yeah, I'll go with Jesse. Jacksonville.
Brothers are in sync tonight. What's Worko on?
Philly.
Oh, shit.
All right. Chicago at Arizona -1.
Oh.
War goes on Arizona.
Of course he is, dude. He pissed me off before he left on our group chat.
He texted me about that.
Dude, I texted him and I was like, "You're a little shit and you're pissing me off," basically. And he's like, "What do you?" He said, "Oh, you're watching the Bills game?" No, I'm not watching the Bills game, you idiot. I'm watching the Bears game. You think I have a Bears podcast? Like, he really grinded my gears, and he just didn't text me back. And I was like, "Good riddance on your Greece trip, bro." I didn't say that, but
yeah, because that's overboard.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
Good riddance on your Greece trip.
I wouldn't say anything about before he flew. I would feel really terrible if something bad happened. What's the line? Jesus, I got
-1.
I got real mad there. Yeah. I'm a little nervous that Arizona is squeaking these games out, like last second field goals. I don't like that. But obviously, I'm not Wargo, and I'm going to take the Bears because I believe in my team, unlike some people that I know. What do you think?
I'm struggling with this one, honestly. I could see the Bears giving us there's something about it. Maybe it's just the way that I'm programmed, but it's like when your team really just kicks you while you're down, right? And then you expect like, well, they did that to me last week, right? Like they got to do me right this week. No, they don't. No, they can just keep beating the living shit out of you while you're down. And the Bears absolutely have the potential to do that, and really hurt me. And I don't need it right now, honestly. There's enough going on in the world today. With that being said, I'm going to go with the Bears. I think that the issues with the line aren't as apparent against this Arizona team as they would be with a more well-established pass rush. Not that Arizona can't pass rush, but I was peeping their pass rush score via PFF. They are, I think, 29th. So that, one of those things it's going to be a deficiency for the Bears this week with a thin offensive line. I don't think it's going to be as noticeable, like I said, as it would be if we were going against a top tier pass rush. Hopefully Waldron gets his head out of his ass and runs an offense that is it's like it shouldn't be showing up and disappearing. And then we're like, wait, where'd it go? Like, just quit picking your boogers and eating them because you think the kids are gonna think it's cool, and just be yourself. Like, call
yourself,
game.
man.
Like, I hate to go back, like, because it's like the Matt Nagy thing was like, be yourself, right? But like, don't be Matt Nagy. Be you, Shane. Okay, please.
For all the Bears fans.
I'm going to go with the Bears. I think it's a bounce back game for them, even if they are a little bit banged up. They pick up their first road win in the continental United States. They did get the win in London, but haven't won on the road here on American soil. So, I think that's what's going to happen in Arizona. Next game, it should be a fun one. NFC North divisional matchup, Detroit at Green Bay, plus 3.5 points.
I want to hear what you guys have to say about this one.
Well, this is I think the line is it's got me questioning a couple things. If Jordan Love didn't have any sort of injury designation, which he currently does with a groin strain that cost me a win last week. This line, I think, would be the same if he was completely healthy. Like, I would still see Detroit favored minus 3.5 here, which tells me that Vegas must know or think that Love is playing. What I don't like about this game for Detroit is the fact that it's outside. I'm going to look at this real quick. And obviously, like, I jokingly say this, if Jared Goff is playing in a dome, doesn't matter what the spread is. And I will stick by that. But to reinforce that obviously everybody, can sense the kind of run that they've been on lately and how hot they've been. Last week, Tennessee at home in the dome. Week before, they were at Minnesota in a dome. Dallas in a dome. Week before that, at home against Seattle, and then at Arizona the week before. Those are 5 wins in a row. Week 2 against Tampa Bay, that was in a dome at home, but they lost. They haven't fucking played outside. They haven't. Like, I'm sorry, but like, something is telling me
Luke,
Green Bay keeps it close.
Luke,
and Jared Goff just does not play the same outside. I swear to God, I don't know what it is.
Where you're going with this, because I was going to go to the same exact thing, because guess what? Ding, ding, ding. The weather is in play this game. A lot of rain in the forecast in Green Bay.
Oh, baby.
So it's more than just outside. It's a rain game looking like. So
well, if Love ends up not playing in this, I'm probably going to switch. But I'm taking Green Bay right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Green Bay as well. I think Love is actually he did not look good last game. He looked like he was really ginger, and it doesn't seem like it's his MCL. It's his groin, which it could maybe it's from having the groin or the MCL injury. He's overcompensating or something. Now his groin's messed up. I know that's happened in the past. Like you get one injury and it kind of leads to another. We'll see. But he did not look good. Like he got tapped by a lineman. He was done. Obviously it was
tapped.
Yeah. So with the rain, if Malik Willis, if he plays, dude, I think he's a rain guy.
Oh, Tom doesn't care about quarterbacks.
He's not like Josh Allen.
I mean, Willis has 2 wins this year already, anyway. So I mean,
he's played.
LaFleur has shown that he can scheme shit up for.
Yeah, I'm Green. And Green Bay's home. I just think all these factors are against the Lions. I wish the line was a little bit bigger, maybe 5 or 6. But give me
maybe even more important than whether or inside or outside what quarterback. War goes on Detroit.
Yeah. So, for that reason, I'm on Green Bay too. I mean, no. In all seriousness, I mean, we saw how Matt LaFleur, his genius, to alter the game plan a little bit when Malik Willis is at the helm, to focus more on the run game, to implement some, jet motion type plays with Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks. Feed Josh Jacobs the ball. Now, Detroit can run the ball all day, right? But this Green Bay defense has been playing pretty good to this point in the season. Jair Alexander didn't practice today, but he is questionable. So, I expect he will play. But, I think this is going to be a great game. It's going to be, obviously Bears are in the NFC North. I think it would benefit them more if Green Bay were to lose this. But
maybe that's where Wargo's head's at. Maybe Wargo's really trying to play the reverse Uno with I'm going to pick the Cardinals. That's going to obviously play in my favor when.
What did Wargo say about
Bears win?
What beat is that?
Yeah, so I'm gonna take Green Bay here. All right, moving on. 3 more games left. LA Rams at Seattle +1.5. The Rams are back. The Rams are back, baby. Still have some defensive struggles, but coming off a long week where they played last Thursday against Minnesota. They won that game as the underdogs at home. Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp coming back obviously reinvigorated this offense, and Matt Stafford and Sean McVay. And I think that continues. Puka's hands are soft like pillows, The ball just finds those. It's like the George Pickens magnet hands. Similar characteristics there. And then
Troy Polamalu too. His hair is really just growing. So they got longer.
Did you guys notice his helmet looks like it's very close, it's really small,
like a little kid.
There's no padding.
I always notice when there are certain guys, when you get the profile, their face mask is like this. It's like it's like a half an inch away from their nose. That tells you one thing: big noggin.
Yeah.
You got a big noggin, you got other things that are big too.
His hands.
Yes, exactly. Bodes well for catching balls.
Yeah.
Right. So
I'm on the Rams.
Seahawks injury report as of today. Devin Witherspoon, one of their top cornerbacks, is questionable. Illinois guy. Lockett, questionable. Noah Fant, questionable. Metcalf, still questionable. McVay is like one of those dudes like that when there's like the Bears, right? Like they can't even prep for one team during a bye week. Like they can't even tie their like you guys got 2 weeks to tie your shoes. Sorry, we only got one done. You know.
We're gonna trip on
And you know what?
shoelaces later.
We double knotted it so damn bad that like we can't even get it undone. So we're just gonna have to throw that shoe away. The Rams are a team, and McVay and Stafford are a team that can take a bye week and they can like do an install for the Seahawks and like, hey, we'll get you guys like a little preview on the Seahawks. We know you're just gonna win this game, no problem. Nobody else knows it currently, but we're gonna play Puka, who people forgot it. People are like, oh, Cup's back. Oh, also Puka's back.
Yeah.
I think the Rams are going to try to make a little bit of push here after a really slow start, just due to all the injuries on that team. Going to try to make a push at this division because it's wide open right now. I think with the win last week, the Cardinals moved into first, and I think they're 4-4. So despite having a really tough start, the Rams are a team that they know that there's an opportunity here and that their season is not over, despite coming out of the blocks really slow and being faced with a lot of injuries to start the year. I think they have an opportunity to get back in a division game and make up some ground here.
Yeah, I think we've seen this before last year. Slow start, picked it up. Slow start for different reasons. But, yeah, I mean, they looked so damn good last week. Got all their guys back. Stafford looking like he is not old. And he is slinging the ball, and he is one of the. He's good at quarterback. Like
he's good.
He's
really good.
Watch him, and yeah, I mean, I'm a little nervous. He's going to be like 40, 48 degrees, but I don't think it matters.
I mean, one thing to note, Geno's leading the league in passing yards right now, and we know this Rams defense is susceptible to giving up some points. So one thing to watch, but
Tom, you're on the Rams?
We're all on the Rams. All right. Next one. Interesting ones. Sunday Night Football, Indianapolis at Minnesota, -5. So Anthony Richardson has been benched. Indianapolis 6-1 against the spread. No, more than that now.
That's impressive.
7-1. 7-1 against the spread.
That's really impressive. They're going to get a bump here. Putting Flacco in is, there's guys in that locker room that have been thinking like, where's he at? Like we saw him come in whatever week that was, and we saw what happened. Like, how long are we going to keep doing this thing with the guy who can't throw the ball, but he's the quarterback thing? I think I'd love to see Indianapolis go into Minnesota and win this game. That'd be very helpful to us. I don't know if they'll do that, but I think with Flacco and like that energy that it's going to bring to the team, knowing that they've got a guy,
how good
the offense is dangerous. They've got guys. Pittman he's a good receiver. Josh Downs, Alec Pierce, Jonathan Taylor. Like they've got weapons available. You got to be able to get them the ball though.
What's the Colts defense like?
I don't think it's very good.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it's very good, which could be problematic against the Vikings. But I'm going to take the Colts to keep it close.
Just a bunch of PI penalties on Justin Jefferson. I'm guessing Sunday night time, just flags everywhere.
War goes on in Minnesota.
Yeah, I think I got to go Minnesota as well. I was going to go Colts. But something's telling me in Minnesota they got to win here. They're feeling that pressure of after losing 2 games. And it's at home. I always say that, boom, boom.
He does always say that. That's scary.
I love it.
I'm on Indianapolis as well.
All right.
Only 2 games this week where we're all on one side. I feel like that's pretty rare for us.
Yeah, I agree. Something about this week, these matchups are tough.
All right. Monday Night Football, Tampa Bay at Kansas City, -8.5.
Another rainy game, I believe. Let me look. I would say that favors Tampa Bay in their run game. But how do you go against the Chiefs? Right.
Yeah, it's tough. But
Monday?
Baker, are you a Baker believer or not?
Thunderstorms likely. This game might not even play if there's thunderstorms likely still. Well, that's Sunday. Sorry, Monday. It could be out of there. I think it could be out of there by Monday night. I don't think it matters that much. I think I'm going to say Kansas City.
Wargo neglected to pick this game. So he didn't no pick for Wargo here.
That's tough for the rest of us because that is like
now we don't know.
That's as impactful of information as is Patrick Mahomes playing.
Yeah.
What Wargo pick?
I'm
taking
Tampa Bay.
Okay.
I am a Baker believer.
8.5, huh?
Yeah, and Mike Evans, Chris Godwin are down, but he showed. They showed fight last week against Atlanta in a divisional matchup. Even without those 2 playmakers, they've got something going with this run game, with the 3-headed monster that they've got. So Kansas City run defense is frightening, though, which, gives me a little pause. But 8.5 points is a lot. And I think Tampa Bay is a gritty team. I think they're competitive. They've been blown out once this year against Denver. And happens again here. I think it's close. Baker believer.
I want to pick Tampa Bay because I do like Baker. I like him as of late. There's been times in his career where I'm like, I don't like that. But as of late, I do like him, and I want to pull for him, given the fact that he's swimming upstream right now. Is Evans definitely out this week? Is this an extended thing with the hamstring, or do we know?
Stand by.
Jesus, they've had a tough stretch. They played the They played the Commanders.
He's out.
I'm gonna go KC. Spagnuolo is Spagnuolo. It's escaping me at the moment. Steve, call him Steve, Uncle Steve. Everybody's got one. He is not a guy you want to be one-dimensional against, especially if that dimension is your run game. They, like Jesse said, they're really good at building a wall and preventing teams from being able to run the ball. And that, really good teams too. Not that Tampa Bay isn't a really good team in the running game, but they'll take Henry out of a game easy. And it's like they're not even trying. They're like, what are you gonna do? Like, you can't do that. So they make you do something else. And without Baker's weapons available to him, I like KC to cover the spread here. They had a close one last week against Vegas, but I think they can maybe run it up a little bit.
This schedule, they've played the Commanders, the Lions, the Broncos, the Eagles, the Falcons, the Ravens, the Falcons, and now the Chiefs. That's tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Bucs this week.
I could find Pat Mahomes' record against spread on primetime, but I can't. But I'm sure it's kind of jaw-dropping. Luke, you're on Kansas City?
I am on Kansas City, yes.
What am I doing?
I assume Morgan would be on Kansas City, so we're going to throw that in for him too.
I switched mine. I'm going to go Tampa Bay.
Okay.
How about locks? What do you guys think for locks this week?
Ooh, man.
Some locks for the people.
Yeah. Gotta have them. Gotta have them. Ooh.
I'm gonna go with the Rams -1.5 against Seattle.
Okay.
I want to take Minnesota at home, but I did that last week.
That was dumb.
Yeah.
I'm going with Indianapolis, so maybe you should go Minnesota.
Something's calling me to Atlanta.
Something's calling into Atlanta.
Yeah. Give me
ATL.
Atlanta.
Magic City.
All right.
That might be Houston. I don't know. Can't remember.
Smash.
Is that Orlando?
Magic City is a strip club.
Nice.
It's a very popular one. I can't remember which city is it. There might be a Magic City in both.
How's that Denver wide receiver doing? Is he recovering? Okay.
Josh Reynolds, I do not know. You know,
Josh?
it's a shame. Maybe it's not a shame that I've lived here for it'll be 7 years when we moved back in at the end of November, and I've never been to Shotgun Willie's, but seems like a very eventful place. You might see a celebrity or two. You might lose your life. You never know. Chances are you see some boobies.
Yep.
But at what cost, right?
At what cost?
So keep that in mind, folks. For
when you think about going to the strip club.
Right.
But with that, that is week 9. Picks against the spread. Missing Coach Wargs, but hopefully he's enjoying his time in Greece. And be sure to like it. Yeah. Be sure to like and subscribe, and tune in next week.
Follow us on Twitter, Chi-Town Lowdown.
Yep. Follow us on X. Yeah, get all the updates there.
Oh, and big event coming up next Tuesday. Do your civic duty and go out and vote.
Don't disappoint Grandpa Barry.
So, no matter who you choose, it is important.
Doesn't matter your affiliation.
It is important that your voice is heard. We will be back next Wednesday as long as, there's not anarchy and
the internet shuts down.
Whatever. But, looking forward to these games, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.